Welcome to a new episode of The Listening Room. We are the Lobang Kids. I'm here with Deben, aka Demon Seaman. And here we have Sean, aka Chinese above the neck, but Jewish below the belt. I am Josiah, aka I want to grow a beard, but too much Chinese in me.
Yes.
And today we have a new guest, Rindo, from Living Up in Singapore podcast.
AKA the Mayor of Geylang. Yes.
Welcome,
Hi,
Rindo.
Thanks for having me.
It's an honor to have you.
So
Mr.
okay,
Mayor.
so Rindo, one question we got to ask though. Your hair is slicked back. I think you're ready to take on the city of Geylang. What's the first thing you change about the city?
Nothing about Geylang.
Yeah.
Nothing, absolutely. It's amazing as it is.
Right.
What about proper Wi-Fi? I think that's,
Yeah, okay.
that's
one
thing.
thing they're trying to
Well,
fix.
That's mostly
Yeah.
because I'm cheap, so I need to work on that.
Would it? I know that they split the lorongs, right? Like the hall houses is in one lorong, and then the good food is in another lorong. That is a little inconvenient. I feel that they should like have two lorongs together, so that you can have sex and have good food at the same time.
Well, they do have that. If I remember correctly, Lorong 18 and Lorong 20 is like you have all the uncles who would just, come back after, a pretty exciting night and then just go straight for
You
food.
got to be closer to
Oh,
them.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, that does happen. So it's like, do you know that whole, you go to Geylang for Hor Fun and Hor Fun?
Hor Fun, yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's
Oh.
One with the W or one without the W.
Right. We should be talking
I
about
just
the one.
actually got there. It's like, oh, that's good.
Once
Hor
you said
Fun.
whores. Once you said
Hor
do
whores.
have a good Hor Fun.
I understood it.
Geylang Hor Fun. Oh shit, that's gonna catch on. That's gonna be a thing.
So now we know what kind of food you get in Geylang.
It's straight from the mayor's mouth, man. Hor Fun.
It's Hor Fun and it's carrot cake and chicken rice.
There's a whole
Yep.
bunch of stuff. It's very good.
Bak kut teh as well.
Bakute.
Oh,
Very
yeah.
good bak kut teh, yeah.
But could take.
They have the dry one, the
So there's two
black
of them.
pepper dry
Yeah.
bak kut teh.
Yeah, so that's the one at Lorong 23 or 24, I think.
Dude, I'm hungry right now.
Yeah, so there's the Malaysian style.
You have to be like at least an
Oh,
inch.
No,
right,
it's
very
good.
close.
I've
Okay.
already adjusted
Okay.
the
Yeah.
levels.
Okay, right.
Right.
So there's a couple of good places.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The way he started out is the same way I started out when I was like uncomfortable with the phallic devices in front of my face.
But now
Phallic
you're
device.
But
fine.
now I'm all on it.
You hold it with both hands now. You hold it with both
Yeah.
hands.
It takes a while to get used to it, but then when you spend enough time with the Lobang Boys, right, somehow
Just-
you get
You
just
guys
like
know how to
phallic
make me
shapes.
feel comfortable.
you get more comfortable with having this object in front of your face.
Can I just say I'm like almost finishing my second can of beer. I might have
Hey,
to take a piss soon.
cannot. We're not being sponsored by Tiger.
No, but I might have to take a piss soon.
Then why did you mention Tiger?
Because you can see it already. What? He
Alamak.
brought it
I'll
up.
hide it here, lah.
Yeah.
But this is a shout out to future beer brands. They want
Yeah.
to sponsor us.
We
We're big,
are-
like alcohol drinkers.
Uh,
So
but we are, we're sane and we control ourselves. I'm lying the whole way. I'm not even controlling.
Yeah, but
People
here's the
know.
thing: the window you're blocking the door, so I might have to climb through you if I need to take a piss.
Climb away.
I might end up in your lap. So-
That sounds like some good horror fun.
I think it'll make good TV.
And finally, you are in the same room as the infamous
The
bed that we have been talking about.
Yes.
I've been.
How does it
I've been
compare?
dreading,
Does it
that
live
topic
up to
being
your
broached.
imagination? I think that's the one thing we're gonna ask most of our guests. Does it live up to your imagination? Everything. you said.
I'm not picky. That'll do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
That'll
see,
work.
7 days a week, and then 6 days we have the top on, but the 7th day no, it's for
Yeah.
washing.
So
yeah.
you notice that there isn't any plastic lining like laying about,
Yeah.
no tarps.
Any torture device
has been clean.
hidden,
It has been clean.
And it looks
Yeah.
better on camera.
It's
that
in the
way.
Yeah.
closet now.
No,
Like-
it can't be seen.
Yeah, it can't
It
be.
can't
seen.
be
Yeah.
seen.
We were told like you display
You
that
can't
thing
smell anything
opening-
weird, anything funky.
No.
Yeah, it's
no.
problematic.
I'll
Yeah.
just say that Josiah, just make it quick.
Josiah pulled all the stops. He wanted to impress you,
Yeah.
and that is where that line came from.
Yeah.
Where he wanted to go and chuck a piss, but he's like,
He's
I'm
going
afraid
with-
I might land on Rindo's lap.
Yeah.
He's
Also,
like, the mayor of
as far
Geylang
as
is
pickup
here,
lines
and
go, that's
I
a smooth
am
one.
going to
Alright.
impress him.
Yeah, this whole thing is we're here to impress.
Yeah, and also
Yes.
good places to buy bleach, right? Like really strong bleach. So that's why I think we can have a talk after this podcast. Yeah, I got to clean my room.
Looking forward to that.
Bleach and plastic gloves.
Yep.
Yeah.
Keep the Rona out.
hydrogen peroxide.
Wow.
What are you guys into?
Whitening teeth. Those.
No,
That's really,
bleaching hair.
no, actually, hydrogen peroxide. I think
Yeah.
they use it for whitening teeth. I
You
guess.
bleach hair, is it?
Yeah, bleach.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
It's amazing
Yeah.
how we know all these things.
Oh, I watched The Sopranos. I learned everything that I know from it.
You see,
Hashtag research.
see, that's where he got the
Hashtag
idea
research,
from.
Yeah.
That's where he got
And
the
Four
idea.
Lions,
Yeah.
fucking great movie. If anyone has not watched Four Lions,
Mm.
go and watch it.
Four Lions. Is that
Yeah.
England?
Wait, is that the one where like 4 guys
They
want
wanna
to become
join the
terrorists?
Terrorists, yes.
and then
Rubber Digging Rapids, bro.
okay,
Yeah, yeah.
haven't
Well,
seen it, but yeah.
This kind of links to England, our topic. The
Oh, yeah,
founding
yeah.
fathers of Singapore. I mean, other than Sir Stamford Raffles, who is kind of like now we kind of know he's like a hoaxy kind of person. Like
Yeah,
he's
Yeah.
the name of Singapore, but we know Farquhar. Is it Farquhar?
It's
William
not,
Farquhar.
technically, it's not even Farquhar.
It's not even Farquhar.
It's Farquhar.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that the actual pronunciation?
Yeah, his own family pronounces it as
Dude,
William Farquhar.
I think Raffles made that up as well.
No,
I think so.
Okay,
He's been telling him,
That shows the
sir, my name is Farquhar. Farquhar? Farquhar. Farquhar? Farquhar. Farquhar? Farquhar.
No. It's Farquhar, right? And I think
Without the
people
K.
were making fun of him.
Right.
Hey, William, go Farquhar. So he had enough, and he was like,
Do you know the funniest
Let
thing
me
is that
just
even the
tell
coolies were
these-
doing it.
"Yeah, let
Hey,
me
take a
just
Farquhar,
tell these
Farquhar,
people,
Farquhar.
hey, it's Farquhar."
It's
No,
Farquhar.
it's the same thing. There was a place, there was a suburb in Australia, Western Australia,
Yeah.
Perth, called Cockburn, but it was spelled Cockburn.
Cockburn.
Yeah, Cockburn.
So
I've
it's
heard of this
Cockburn. So
Right.
imagine the fucking shtick that guy must have had from all of his fucking fellow
I don't think he wants.
prisoners.
Yeah, there's a Hollywood actress whose surname was Cockburn, like Coburn
Yeah,
essentially.
Cockburn. Yeah.
She got sick and tired of having to explain it all the time, and so she decided to identify by Olivia Wilde.
Oh. Interesting.
Her-
Interesting
Her
trivia.
name was Olivia.
And the-
Depending on how you want to pronounce
Yeah.
it, Cockburn.
Cockburn.
On,
Yeah.
on the other hand, it's actually quite apt because she is kind of a burner
Burn.
for cops.
Yeah,
for cops,
birds have
I
you
mean.
cock lah.
No, but
God
the,
damn, he's kinda
the
hot.
Western
Yeah.
Australian Cockburn. Imagine every time someone is it still burning?
You got to get that checked.
Yeah, you gotta get that checked.
Yeah.
Like, it should
So
only
Olivia
burn.
Wilde definitely has some like gonorrhea or
Yeah,
some,
must be.
or the
Must have
clap
been
or some
yeah,
shit going
Why
on.
would you say why?
because she burned some cock in the past. Right?
Or literally lighter fluid, douse the guy, and
Yeah. And then
then
set it
a-
on fire.
and
set
a,
it on fire.
and a dash of hot sauce.
Just a
Just
dash.
Sriracha.
Wait, who was she married to?
This guy from SNL, I can't remember his name.
Isn't she half Thai? Or
Well, with Cockburn, you never know.
yeah,
Because
might-
it could be
might-
a short form for like Tao Kat Chik Tao Mat Tai then it's like Cockburn. And I was like, I can't do that. So it's wild. You know. Their name is really long.
A cackle button.
Yeah, we need a soundboard.
Yeah. To do like five
The
sounds or
mayor of
something.
Geylang has been praising us for the setup.
Yeah,
He's
we
like,
need a
"Fuck,
soundboard."
this looks-"
He's impressed
So
by the
when-
thing.
when Son's-
You've done a good job.
No,
You're like,
over Zoom we were like super impressed.
yeah.
Yeah.
He
yeah.
had like a pop filter. He had like a proper mic,
Yeah.
and
yeah.
the camera was like so clear, and we were all like
The
fucking
first
retards.
zoom one was nice. You slick back your hair, you look nice. The second zoom call, your hair was undone, you had beard
Yeah,
growing.
well,
I don't know what was going on.
That's because I stopped showering and then
Oh right.
I wasn't gonna meet anybody.
You're his inspiration. Can you not tell? He's taking
Yeah.
like look, his hair is on point,
Yeah.
right now. He's showing it off. It's like
I gotta look good for the mayor of Geylang.
Yeah, he wants to be the mayor of the eastern part of Singapore, right?
Yeah, whenever I walk into like on the streets, people ask me like, cause trouble. I'll be like, no, I know Rindo. I'm like, okay, you get a free massage here.
Sir Rindo.
Sir Rindo.
And they
Sir
believe
Rindo.
it because they don't even know if it's a real thing. They're like, oh shit,
You get 2
no.
hours free massage. Thanks to Sir Rindo.
And then
I hope
frog
my
leg porridge
girlfriend
after
doesn't hear
that.
this podcast.
No, but it's apt that we have the mayor of Mayor of Rindo, Mayor of Geylang here, and we're talking about the founding fathers of Singapore.
Yes.
So we went to Raffles and Farquhar.
Fucker.
But
Yeah.
we're talking about the more recent ones, the one that after independence, the ones that fought for our independence.
Yeah.
In a sense. Like
No, but
Lee
you
Kuan
brought
Yew
up a
and-
good point though. Like, who can we actually claim as like the founding fathers.
True. Is it Sang Nila?
Yeah, is it Sang Nila Utama? Sri Buana?
Well,
That's
but I
another
was
name that he
I
went
always
by.
believed that he might have been high when he founded Singapore because he saw a lion fish. Wait, no, that lionfish
he never
exists.
saw the fish. So it's
He
like
saw a lion.
I saw a
and-
lion.
so the thing is that like Sang Nila Utama wasn't necessarily a historical figure.
I thought sober.
Yeah, so there's a so it's like yes, the myth is there that there's this one person who founded a country, but it may not necessarily be like one specific person, right? And just to give you some context, like the whole story of Sang Nila Utama is just from one story,
Yeah.
just from one book,
that's
which
right.
is the Sejarah Melayu. I mean, essentially the Malay annals, right? So they just have this one book where they have this one character who supposedly founded this one island, which is supposedly Singapore, but the historicity is kind of
Shady.
in doubt, essentially, right? So
Yeah,
it's
because-
like,
And you got to keep in mind that the Malay annals was translated like multiple times.
Yeah.
And he saw a
And-
lion, which
Yeah.
till today
And
not really a native
and
species.
historians also, they disagree with certain parts of the translation.
Yeah.
They're like, no, you have to read the Malay annals in its original form, like what Rindo mentioned, the actual name. And once it gets translated, the actual meaning might differ after that.
Differ.
Wait,
So
but there
they're
are no
like-
lions in Southeast Asia, though,
Yeah.
at
So-
that point in time, right?
No, none. I
yeah.
don't think.
Tigers
till-
probably.
he
till
might
today-
he might have been on acid
He might have been.
Or shrooms.
or shroom.
The other
More
thing is that
likely,
wait, who
Or some
who
like
came up with the
some
Malayan?
fantastic
the Malayan
indigenous
was actually part of a tourism campaign in
It's
the
just a
1950s.
it's a tourism campaign, right? No
Yeah.
one actually saw a lionfish.
No,
I
it
mean,
was like they had the lion and then they decided to put a
No,
kind of fish to it
no, I
just
thought the
to.
fish is because of Singapore's a fishing port.
I think
Yeah,
so.
so yeah, so they had that
I think
kind of-
they put two and two
Lion
together
and
because
Is that so?
I think
No.
I always thought that they always had a fetish for a lion fucking a mermaid.
Oh.
or a mermaid
right.
fucking a lion.
Or a mermaid fucking a lion.
Right. But I know
And that's why they went
mermaids
extinct.
A mermaid pegging a lion. So
And that's why they went extinct.
Yeah.
It's like, come
Yeah.
here, pussycat, come here.
because there was no
Fuck out,
procreation,
fucking
there was
little
no
bit of oblivion.
alien fucking spawn that
Yeah.
came out of that because the mermaid was just pegging the lion,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it was a male lion. So
So the lion was not happy.
it was not
Bites the
happy.
head off.
But,
Well,
but
it's
it took
kind
what
of-
it
it's-
took
it's-
what it got.
It's kind
Right.
of one of those cases where
Okay,
it's
so here,
dominant.
I think you guys have heard the would you rather, right? Would you rather fuck a Malayan with the top half female or bottom half female?
Wait, what?
Phew.
I think bottom half female.
I
Okay,
need
bottom half
to,
female.
You guys are considering fucking a
well, I don't know what a fish vagina looks like, so I need to probably just if you know
I
what a
think
fish
it
vagina
would
looks like, then
definitely
probably-
look pretty much like a snake's vagina,
what is
What does a snake
which
vagina
looks
look
like a human vagina.
Really, it looks like human
A
vagina.
snake's
Okay.
vagina looks like a human vagina. Or you
But the thing is that a snake can have like 2 sexual organs
Oh,
or 2 penises, if I'm not wrong.
you're gonna create a new kind of fetish after this.
right.
People are just
No,
gonna be
I'm gonna
during
Google the shit
lockdown.
after this.
During lockdown, I watched like a documentary
It's
about
gonna
like
be a-
cobras
it's gonna
on
be snakiest.
NGC,
Right, right,
Damn.
right.
and yeah, they showed how like reptiles recreate, and I was like, fuck.
That looks like a female.
Why, why does that snake have 2 cocks?
Right.
And I was like, what the
Two
fuck
cocks?
is that? 2 cocks.
So you could have a threesome with
Himself.
at the same time. Kind of a one male, 2 female threesome at the same time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can fuck another snake, and you can fuck yourself at the same time.
Yeah,
That's
it's
mad.
it's a self threesome. It's a.
And again, like reaching into my knowledge from The Sopranos, Polly Walnuts actually tells that no, that's why they call people a snake, because you can literally fuck yourself.
Ah,
Yeah,
I get it.
you can tell that you go fuck yourselves.
Right, right,
Yeah.
right.
No,
That makes
but-
sense.
But
Life
back,
lessons from
But back
Sopranos.
to the more,
yeah.
the
I mean,
more,
here I was happy with regular porn, but okay.
back to the more historical stuff where we were on the right path. Like it was going well, and then we tangented off.
And
to
I said something that you guys didn't hear, so
Yeah.
I'm okay. with that.
educational.
As far as the Malay annals are concerned, the context of that particular story, where Sang Nila Utama actually like arrives in Singapore, he does see an animal, and it's described as which has a red back, a white belly, and a black face. Now, we could say that yes, there are no lions here in Singapore, but there were Malayan tigers, right? And I mean, at least in my mind, the color combination does kind of, align with what you would see in a tiger, right? And there's also probably another context to it. In Sanskrit, the word simha is, yes, used for lion, and there's a separate word for tiger also, but simha is also used as you call any big cat a simha. You call a leopard a simha, you call a tiger a simha, you call like any big cat a simha. So perhaps he saw a big cat, called it simha, and then it became like Singapore.
Yeah, and then
So
you,
I don't know.
you
it's
can actually
supposition,
extrapolate from that one word simha, and you can add like other. You can fill it up with other words, and it becomes like something about royalty, throne, like so many other words like will branch out from there.
And also, could it be that it could be a guy with a furry costume playing blackface?
Dude, no, not
see-
black, not
You
black.
see, I
Not black,
I like
brown.
this.
Brown face.
I
Okay,
like
brown
this
face, yeah.
because it shows that me and him are quite synced. Because I was about to say that's early form of cosplay.
Cosplay, yeah.
That's early
Yeah.
form of cosplay. Yeah,
Oh my
that's
gosh,
they-
furries have been around
they
for longer
had
than I
furries
thought.
have been around for the longest time.
This was when in the 14th century, 13th
1400s,
century.
1400s,
Yeah.
right? I think
People
so.
don't change, man. People just
there
evolve.
was like a fucking dope ass costume shop, a Halloween shop somewhere in the woods. First
They made
in
Halloween
Singapore.
parties before the school.
Made from real fur.
Made from
Real
real
fur.
Real
So someone actually killed a tiger, skinned it, and then sell it.
No, describe the thing again.
taxidermy.
White belly.
Taxidermist was there, hiding in the
White
fucking
belly.
woods.
White belly, red,
White belly.
like red back, white belly,
Red
black
back-
face, or
black
something.
face.
Black face. Yeah.
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 And
Yeah.
you
It could
clearly
be like
someone
Vikings.
blinged it out. Someone modified it. I don't like brown. Let
Yeah.
me
Let me
make
do-
it
let me
red.
do black.
He did something
Yeah.
with ferns. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hear me roar, rawr.
So
It's
that
like,
that
whoa.
guy playing the tiger or whatever animal is cultural appropriation. He's trying to be.
No, I think he
species that's not
started the
his.
culture, man. He's basically
Yeah,
our
because
image.
technically, like before that, there were traders who just like stopped and then went on.
Yeah.
So there were Chinese, there were Arabs,
Ignoring
there
him.
were- I
Ignoring
think
him for that long.
I think the Chola dynasty. I think they actually like conquered most of like Burma and like what we know now as Thailand and Malaysia and like most likely Singapore as well, Indonesia. That's why like Hinduism spread like
Yeah.
pretty far. Like if you go to Yogyakarta and all, you see Hindu temples, Angkor Wat,
yeah.
and like yeah. So these like our ancestors, they actually had fucking itchy legs. They wanted to fuck women who did not look like the women who were in their vicinity.
You want to spread the seed.
They wanted to spread the seed.
Yeah.
And I don't know how much is it that they wanted to take a gap year and they wanted to explore the world,
Yeah.
but they wanted to do shit.
So frat
You
boys
know-
existed back then.
Wanderlust. Hashtag Wanderlust.
Hashtag Wanderlust.
Yeah, but at that time there's no Instagram, so they
No,
just
but
write journals.
they had their own Instagram.
They had their sampans.
They had people. They had painters who would follow them,
to
and the
paint the shit,
carvers
right? Yeah.
and like
Yeah.
fucking builders. who-
Writers as well.
Ancient
Riot,
ways of
like-
selfies. Like,
yeah, they had people praising them, like the people who comment on their posts.
Yeah.
They recreated whatever they saw with paintings
and
and
fed
all
their
this kind of
egos.
shit.
Like, I saw a lion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Instead of like
Why-
fucking pictures of what they
Red
ate,
back
Yeah.
ferns.
they just brought back what they ate.
But
They
it's
just
crazy
shipped it
now.
back.
All you need is just a smartphone to do all of the above.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know
Yeah.
whether that's
That is
evolution
because
or
of ancient aliens.
de-evolution.
But then, like, to go back to your point, I mean, I really like the gap year theory, but then there's also like family drama involved. In the Malay annals,
Yeah.
there's something where, so essentially, Sang Nila Utama is said to be like one of the princes of Palembang, and so
Oh, yes.
so the story goes that there was a queen in a kingdom of Bentan, which is an island somewhere nearby.
Where Bintang beer comes from.
Yeah, it could be, right? And so
No,
this
highly
lady,
likely
and her
not.
name was like Parameshwari or something, and so she wanted to
Such a
fuck-
Sanskrit name.
yeah, so she wanted to fuck like Sang Nila Utama's dad, because apparently
Yeah.
he was like a big fucking deal, right? So he was apparently like the king of all the lands, and they
He was
called
a
him
boss.
like, the king of the seven seas and the oceans and the skies and all that shit, right? But this guy was like, he didn't care for this lady. And so, but then she was like, no, I want to have an alliance with you at any cost. And so this king was like, okay, you know what? My son is coming down. Why don't you just, show him a good time? So Parameshwar is like, sure, I have a daughter here. How about, they get it on.
Some
and
good
then
whore
everything,
fun.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And so yeah, there was a lot of that fun. And so, just by the alliance of marriage, he became like the king of Bentan. right? But unfortunately, Parameshwar is still the queen there, and so he felt very frustrated. And once again, this is like from the Malay annals where they say that this guy was so frustrated by the overbearing attitude of his mother-in-law that he's like, I need to go and travel or else I'm gonna kill myself. So Parameshwar was
Sounds like a bitch.
okay, all right, here's a boat.
He needed a therapist.
Here's
You
a
know, here's-
sampan.
Sounds like a
Do
millennial.
it.
Here's all the selfie artists and all that shit. And
Go.
why don't you just go out and, do your gap year or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So he goes around and
He's a cosplayer.
he actually lands on an island called Bemban. And then once he lands in Bemban, they're just chilling by the beach, having a good time and stuff like that. And then he sees like white sands in the distance, right? And he's like, "Oh, what's that?" And then his minister was like, "Oh, that's like the land of Temasek or something like that." And you know what? That's where we find lions. And so he goes down there, and lands in this island, and
Oh,
he's
did
like,
they-
"Oh, sorry, this is the place where I'm gonna establish." My domain, and he sends a messenger back to the mother-in-law saying that I'm not coming back, and if you love me, you will send me more boats and elephants and things to like build a settlement and stuff like that. And then Parameshwar is like, okay, fuck it,
He's out of my castle.
Wow.
Well, you see, I think that they might have misheard. Like, I think we're going to go there and find alliances. A lion? Alliances. A lion. Okay,
Yeah,
a lion. And he's like, oh, you said we were going to find a lion. Oh, no, we can't change it.
And that's what he named the fucking country.
Yeah, so
Singapura.
Lion
So
City,
the
right?
Lion
is that
City.
there are a lot of professors who say that the sighting of a lion isn't necessarily real. It may just be a metaphor for him establishing his own domain. The lion being a symbol of royalty and all that
lion,
stuff,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
So he's like, this is my land. I'm the king of the world. This is the king. This is the city
And
of the
then
king.
back
Shit
then
like
also
that.
they didn't know how to gauge like size. He didn't actually know it was that small. So he was like, oh, this looks really big.
He goes all the way to Punggol, it's like,
huge
oh, that's
island.
it.
It's like, then he goes to the end. It's like this is the other side. Huh?
Oh shit.
Finish up.
Finish already,
Yeah.
This is the island,
That one over there.
God damn it! I'm stuck here.
There's a white birth of water there.
Or
Ai
or
ya, cheebye.
he came down from his high, like from like
Whatever he
from,
was having.
like
From the
acid
shrooms.
or
Yeah.
weed or shrooms.
Bring me
or
the
good
lion.
pussy.
Good
Bring me
pussy.
the
Good
the,
pussy.
the
Good
lion comes and
indigenous
around.
pussy.
Yeah.
And
never
then
know.
he was like, "Fuck, what the fuck?
What
is
is
this?"
it?
Wait, I saw a lion. Did I see a lion?
Then they bring
Yeah.
in the
The
lion.
lion- yeah, you
They-
totally
they-
did, totally
they-
did.
Hey, you don't know what local women put in their pussy to get you high, right? They
Never.
put stuff like shrooms
they,
up there.
they actually bring
acid.
the lion over. It's like, I'm the one you saw.
It's just a guy in a furry costume. Like, yeah, I just
Bent
want some
over
sex.
on all
I
fours.
was just
It
trying
looks
to
at
trick
him.
some like orangutan and then just to have sex with it.
Yeah, you kepala
Yeah.
buto, you kanina.
What's the
No,
like the color of the
Buto, yes,
orangutan? Is it like
kanina.
Oh yeah,
is it like or is it red? Yeah, an orangutan is red, right?
Orangutan, yeah, reddish, orange,
Reddish,
Does it
yeah,
have like
reddish,
a white
yeah.
back? Does it have like
Brown,
a white
brown.
belly? Oh, okay.
brown, yeah.
Brown, yeah.
I think white belly because the guy was just fair. It's like you just couldn't bother.
The white belly could be from the cum.
And
from
he
the
was like,
orangutan's
shit, I need
cup."
to save myself right now. I just asked my mother-in-law to send me a lot of boats. And I need to make this thing work. Oh shit.
They just cook up some story about
Yeah,
seeing a lion and this is going to be
yeah,
amazing.
what about the alliances? Like, there's nobody here to alliances. Lion. A lion. He looks like a lion. I'm gonna say I saw a lion. Everyone says, does he look like a lion? He looks like a lion. Okay, we
That's
saw a
why,
lion.
that's why everyone think that Singapore is special, right? Because he said that
because the
claim-
people
based
who
on his
found him
claim
was
that they
special.
He saw a lion.
Yeah.
So that there are no lions in Singapore, but he claimed he stand
Yeah,
by
he
his
saw
claim.
it. Because
So
He's
Singapore
probably-
must
yeah.
be special then.
Yeah.
Singapore must be special because we kind of like to see things that aren't there. So
And he didn't like exactly
like
as he said.
like freedom and free speech and
Democracy.
democracy. We say it's there, but it might not be.
All this is
We
based
don't
on
know.
Sean's opinion.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay, sorry. Yeah. Sure.
on Sean's opinion.
I think we did not give the viewers like a what do you call that? Like a warning, right? Like
Right.
most of these are all jokes.
Yeah. Yeah.
If
Dude, if they've been following us, they should know that by now, man.
no, you see now since we have started to like advertise more
I would like.
and like spread the word more on like Instagram and shit like that, I think new people are following us.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think it's
Hi,
good
new
that we
people.
remind them that
Disclaimer.
it's
Disclaimer. Yeah.
most
Please
of
don't
this
take this as an
jokes.
educational history, right? Because
Yeah.
I'm making up cosplay.
We have a
Cosplay didn't-
20-man legal team. If you want to take action with us, we're going to sue the fuck out of you.
It didn't come
Yes.
along until it was
Do
known.
not Google Mayor of Geylang. Do not.
Back
He will
then,
hunt you down.
back then, cosplay was known as a reality, like reality
Yeah,
portrayal.
what the fuck was you gonna-
realism? Yeah.
What the fuck was going to happen? What could you do to
When he questioned the guy, it's like, "What
to
the hell are
three
you
bo-
doing?
to three
I
bona-
came here because I thought I
Nothing.
saw a lion." It's like, I was dressed up as one. Oh, okay.
That
Yeah, I
works.
accept it. Yeah, so because I saw one, but
Yeah.
they ran away because the mermaids fucked them. It's like,
Yeah.
okay.
No,
okay.
but then
Fucked
like
them into
even
a
in the Malay
pavilion.
annals, right? Like after that, like the role of Sang Nila Utama is not big at all.
Yeah, it is just that one story,
After
and then
that,
it's
they
done.
they
Yeah.
go into the whole like Iskandar and
Yeah.
how
If
you know, the
I
f-
told you that story again, do you think he'll be anything else? He'd be like, "Shit, man, I'm in so much trouble. My mother is been
I
killed."
think we have found the reason why they did not mention much after that,
yeah,
because
Why is
we
that?
actually we found out here
What?
just via our own research
his mother-in-law
that
got rid of
what,
him,
what in
Original
the
thought,
actual
yeah.
fuck he was doing.
soprano style.
He was fucking taking a gap year.
Yeah,
And he would just want
With
to get
his
laid.
commenters, with his photographers,
yeah and one
we are modernizing all the terms. lah.
one of them pauto him.
Instagrammers,
Yeah,
his
what-
bloggers,
One
Yeah,
of them
fucking
yeah.
fellas
definitely.
who will be typing the tweets.
One of them-
his
with-
entourage.
Yeah,
One of
with
them
his
definitely
entourage.
pauto him. Go back.
Definitely pauto.
Yeah,
Like
gonna-
send actual birds as
Hey,
tweets.
You know, you
got,
wanted
got
him
lion,
to
is it?
get.
No, it was
No,
a guy
no.
dressed
You
in
sent
a-
him to get a lions. He found a
a
lion.
lion. Then he's like,
But
yeah,
actually,
that's
no
it.
lion.
No lion at
Yeah.
all. Then he's like, really? Then all the boats I sent to him, got one party. He set out one tent.
He just got mabo, and then after that, he said,
Ask him come back. Ask him come back now. Ask
Ah.
him come back now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And who take
Yeah.
who took care after him? No one, right? It
Who?
was just left.
No,
to be
then
a,
it became like the
a fishing village and
what would eventually become the Sultanate of Johor.
so some Malaysians came down and like,
No. So
I mean, this was like part of the
Part of the
thing, yeah.
Malaya.
Yes.
So actually they already owned it. Then this
no,
guy
they,
was
they
already,
were they were ruling Singapore, like
Singapore.
what we know as Singapore right now,
Mm.
and they had wars between like different
Sultans, right?
sultanates and all,
Yeah.
and they eventually fled Singapore, Temasek or Singapura, to go to where now I think it was Malacca.
Malacca,
They flew
yeah.
to they fled to Malacca.
That's a long way to go.
Yeah. And then they established the Sultanate of Malacca, and eventually the family of Iskandar, they came closer towards the border, but then they established themselves in Johor.
And then when the Raffles land,
No. So
This
No,
was
no.
like for 15th century.
Yes,
something.
this is
This is
way
like
before.
these are
300
300 years
longest
before.
time, and then we were like fishing, minding our own damn business. Then this white guy came along.
So I think there's a misconception, right? People used to think that it's only after the British arrived in Singapore, the East India Trading Company arrived in Singapore, that Singapore became a fishing like hub.
I
But
think
actually,
we
Singapore
were-
was a fishing hub.
no, it was
before-
not a
yeah.
fishing hub.
It
We were
was
just
a-
fishing.
It was just people who were
Fishing.
living and fishing
Yeah.
and like doing like fuck all.
But there were like trade established even before the
No.
British.
minor.
It's not
I
really.
think it'll be minor. Like
Yeah,
maybe
I
like
don't think
other
you can
guys
establish
on,
that.
on
Right?
sampans coming
no.
by. You want some hor fun? My daughter's
No,
quite-
people are stopping by here though.
Yeah, because I think if I remember correctly, when Raffles showed up in Singapore for the first time, there was still like there was a rough census that was done. There was still like 1,000 people. So it's like there's a difference between having like an abandoned city or something
Yeah.
versus just a
Mm.
bunch of people living there.
Yeah.
you
he
know?
was
So-
he was probably exaggerating. It was like, ooh,
Right. Okay.
bunch
so,
of savages.
So not like a hub, but more like there's activity going on.
yeah, so there's
No,
like
no.
people there.
Okay, not strictly saying not activity. Like if the British wanted, if there was like nothing going on, if there was no establishment, there was no government in place, there's no hierarchy in place,
no civilization.
no
like
civilization
civility,
to
like-
to put it into their own definition, they would have just used their own legal term called terra nullius,
Mm.
saying that this piece of land has not been settled on before, so it's vacant land
Right.
under their own law, and they would be able to just go and settle there. So that's what they did to Australia.
Mm.
So they deemed the Aboriginal people, the indigenous people of Australia, as being uncivilized or unorganized, that they were not cultivating agriculture, or they did not have a
They're still
system in place.
hunter-gatherers. lah.
Basically, they
Yes.
just came up with an excuse to invade.
Yes,
lah.
they came out with the excuse, but that was
Invade with
already
with no
an
opposition.
established doctrine within their own set of laws,
Yeah.
right? So they used that, and then they established the nation, the Australia, Commonwealth of Australia.
Mm.
So they could not do that in Singapura or Temasek or whatever you want to call it, because there was a system.
Yeah, there was a
Yeah,
There was a
Malaya,
Temangong.
right?
There was a Temangong who was here, who was like handling things. Like there was a hierarchy, and people had paddy fields, like small, like the patches of like they were growing like tapioca or sweet potato or all these kind of things. They had like chickens, they had like cows and all. They were fishing, so they had like a proper dwelling,
Right.
and it was like deemed as civilized. And they're like, no, okay, so we can come in and then we can establish our company here. We can strike a deal. We can converse with them. They know what we are talking about. We can learn their language,
Right.
so to speak. Yeah, and then that's where Raffles and the East India Company came in, and they needed the help of William Farquhar, right? So he was married to an Indonesian, if I'm not wrong.
Oh, really?
Yes.
William Farquhar.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. So he was already established in this region, and that's why they had him to be the commandant of Singapore. And I think you might have come across this during the research for this. The people actually loved him
Mm.
because he was like, no, treat them fairly.
Yeah.
He was hands-on. Yeah.
He was hands-on,
Hands-on, but
and he was like, no, do
Dude,
not, let's not segregate them. Let them be where they are,
No.
But the East Indian Company were like, fuck
now,
that.
Now that you bring it up, right? Maybe the whole reason why his name wasn't up there is because we wouldn't want to be founded by a fucker.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Perhaps.
Imagine
perhaps,
if his middle name started with like G,
Yeah.
and then William Go Fucker.
Yeah. It's like, Sir William Go
Worse if it
Fucker.
was M. William, you motherfucker.
Who are you founded by? Sir Fucker.
No, it was not him though. It was still Raffles.
Wait, do we have any statues of William Farquhar?
No.
No, right?
No.
Only Raffles.
Raffles, yeah.
So if I remember correctly, so Raffles was only here for about 9 months. I mean, he used to be like, he was kind of like a geopolitical diplomat within the region. Comes to Singapore, sets it up, Turnells, as it said. And he was like, yep, this is my domain, this is my land, this is,
But you
my
handle it.
child, right? And then after 9 months, he's like, yeah, fucker.
Take
Okay,
over my shit.
yourself.
You handle it. And then he's
So he
like,
goes back,
Yeah.
yeah.
And Raffles was pretty young at that time, right? Wasn't he?
Yeah, he died young, if I remember correctly.
Yeah,
like,
but he also started in the
Yeah.
East India Company when he was like fucking
Yeah, it's
like
probably something
17
to
or
do
something,
with,
14,
with-
17,
with
something like that.
William
Right.
Fucker's
Clerk?
wife.
Oh, really? Wait.
Probably put a curse on him. Like, this
Who?
fucker made my fucker watch over his fucking country. Fuck him.
Should we fast forward it to when Singapore gained
Yeah, that's what
independence?
we tried.
Just before gaining
The founding
No.
fathers went too far back.
No, but okay, so like Farquhar was like too good to the people that they were like, nah, we can't have you here.
Yeah.
You go back to Indonesia, or you want to go back to England, you do whatever fuck, but you can't be here. So in like 1823, they relieved him of his duties. So he fucked off, and then the British were ruling over us for all that period until the late 50s, after the war,
Yeah.
and when we were fighting for independence.
We had fucking enough.
And that was where I think there was an emergence of local, but by saying local, some of them were born in Malaysia,
Mm.
but we were all looking at it
As one.
as
As
one.
one
It was
unit.
like Malaya,
Yeah.
we are all the same and all this kind of shit. So that was where I think the whole term of founding fathers,
the
I think,
modern
takes shape, right?
founding
From-
father.
Yeah, from the early to mid 50s
Yeah.
onwards, right? To the
Yeah, but then it's also slippery because I think like in like normal history or mainstream history, it's looked at as Lee Kuan Yew, as Rajaratnam, and then
Keng
Lim Kan Seng or
right,
Lim Kan San.
right.
So it's looked at as these three people. Then you have Toh Chin Chai as well.
David Marshall.
David Marshall is not.
No?
It's not considered within
Wow.
that
he's-
group
Yeah.
He's later on.
because he formed the Workers' Party and he was on another page, totally different page from Lee Kuan Yew.
Mm.
And then you had him and Lim Yew Hock, who took over him as the Chief Minister of Singapore.
Mm.
So both of them, I think, saw eye to eye, or they had something similar going on.
Yeah.
And Lee Kuan Yew had something totally different going on.
So just to give some context here, so there's like three aspects of governance that happened in Singapore after, you know, the whole anti-colonialism and all the anti-colonialist protests that were happening in Singapore for a while. In 1955, Singapore finally got the right to self-govern. So the British were like, okay, we'll give this to you. And then that's where, you know, David Marshall came in. He was only in power for he was only the chief minister for maybe about a year or so, after which
He was checking whether we're being spied on.
Yeah.
This is very.
The walls have ears in this
It's
house.
a very, very, very sensitive situation. So
Yeah, when we
it's-
talk about
it's-
politics, you know, you don't know who is listening.
it's safe. He
Yes.
declared
CIA,
it
the
safe.
FBI,
You can continue.
I
SID.
mean, it's
Yes,
strange,
SID.
funny, but yeah, but the thing was that David Marshall was at a time, like, he was the chief minister at a time when they called Singapore as finally a self-governing colony, but still a colony. So there was still a limited mandate that they had. So then David Marshall was only like chief minister for maybe about a year or so, and after that was when an actual
55
election
to
happened.
56.
Yeah. And then
Yeah.
afterwards, I think it was Lim Yew Hock, I believe.
Yes. Yeah.
And then 1959 was when the PAP came into power, and then Lee Kuan Yew became the first prime minister of the colony of Singapore.
Federation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The federation, which
They-
is
they-
part of the Federation of Malaya. I think.
Yes.
Feel like
Yeah.
I'm being educated right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
While having a hard on at the same time. So
Okay, so I want to give some little more context. I only found out about a lot of this because the last couple of podcasts I've been trying to do some research onto the history of Singapore, and this is how I learned about this.
Yeah.
So, you know, yeah. But anywho,
So you
yeah.
see,
So then
he's
you're
been
right.
on
You-
other podcasts, but this is the one where it's most refined.
Why, thank you, Sean.
Yeah. So when
And we fucked it all up.
the PAP itself, like with the founding fathers that have been like established, like the names that we said earlier on, but they had a whole other group of people as well because the PAP was split, right? So the PAP was split with Lee Kuan Yew and Lim Kan San, Rajaratnam, and then they had like Devan Nair, they had Lim Chin Siong, if I'm not wrong. That's the guy who went to jail
Right.
twice. Like he got arrested. Devan Nair as well. I think Operation Cold Store or before that, when they formed the Barisan Socialists, right? So they were like, wait, the PAP is not doing what we actually want to do, and they actually don't mind like siding with the British if it forwards their agenda, and we don't want that. We want them to be out, the British to be out, and we want to do it in another way. So they were like, this is not going to work. And once they saw the divide between Lee Kuan Yew and themselves, they separated themselves. And then Barisan Socialists happened. Janil Puthucheary, who's now part of our cabinet, his dad was part of Barisan Socialists.
oh shit.
And he was arrested during Operation Cold Store.
Cold Store was in what, the 60s, 70s?
Early 60s, if
The-
I'm not wrong. Or
I
late 50s.
I already have was so sad because back then they couldn't see it, but if you started something like that now, oh, poor thing. Barisan Socialist,
Yeah.
BS.
That's
BS, yeah.
Immediately, see the both of them got it. Immediately. Back then it wasn't so much. You're like,
No, because he was in Malay.
BS, BS, BS. Now you BS.
yeah, I think you got to change the name.
Yeah. No,
you
but that was in Malay, bro.
Hmm?
That was in Malay. So Barisan means front. So socialist front.
Socialist
Yeah,
front.
which is like
Yeah,
super
okay.
far left lah.
Yeah.
super
That are
far.
leading.
So super far. Socialist front, super far.
No,
They're not
and-
helping themselves.
And if you were to read the book, so that's fuck, I don't even remember the title of the book.
700 years of
Seven-
Singapore.
Yeah,
700 years, a Singapore story, I think. Yeah.
700 years. Yeah,
A history of Singapore. Yeah.
history of Singapore. Yeah. So that spells it out, like how there was like the whole communist influence that the British were really afraid
Dude,
of,
that book is just too thick. Lah. I look at
yeah,
that.
and
It's got
Yeah, I like
pictures
it. There's a
and
lot
all
of
that, yeah.
pictures lah.
Yeah.
Makes it easy for me to read.
there are maps in there as well. So
Nah. You know why people have this beside their
Dude,
bedside?
Dude, there are
'Cause you need
coloring
to
maps
ha-
in there. Can I color it? Like, can
No,
I
the
get a
thing is-
crayon and then like
Do,
draw
do you know
pictures on it?
the only reason why I have this beside my bedstand is to fall asleep.
Yeah, actually, for the past week, I used it to just
To-
put my remote control on top.
I would fall asleep the moment I see 700
Excellent job
years.
researching on history, guys.
Yeah. And I read it when I was in the fucking toilet last night at 11 p.m.
Also,
when I
the-
was fucking dropping a couple of deuces.
also for anyone with OCD, this is not very good for you because these 700 years they're all out of alignment. It's like 7 is there, 100 is here, and then years is not where 7 is, and not
Yeah,
where
if
100
you're
is
not a fan
ending.
of like.
It's not even linear.
It's not
it
aligned.
goes
Yeah.
here, and then, and then it's like it just stops, and then not all the way. It's like why?
Yeah, but yeah.
why
Then
would
again,
you
it's a
do
history
that?
book, not a book on designing.
I mean,
So-
even the
I mean,
sign,
we-
like, what was the point of this? You're just irritating me. It's
Yeah,
like,
but let's not waste any time and let's go into the only research that Josiah did, and that was Go King Sui.
Hey, okay.
I only had 4 hours, so I did
credit
all I
to
can
him.
on Go King Sui.
Credit to him, he actually did some research. I know he gave us homework. He said like, you guys like add on to this, and then like
No, I did a little bit, but
you
I,
said okay, and I didn't even bother to reply.
no. As
So-
soon as I opened up the fucking Google document,
Yeah.
like this is enough, and then
just fucking copy and paste the thing
Yeah,
fucking in
so
there.
copy
Exactly.
and
What do you
paste,
think I'm supposed to do? Give my own thoughts?
and then
copy
and
and
that's why we have Rindo here. He's gonna fill in the blanks.
You know, he has done the explanation fucking eloquently.
You know, this is the first time we got like that we
like,
ever
yeah,
do
we
like
ever did
research
it.
notes
We ever did it.
because you know the Mayor of Geylang is here and we got to
Yeah.
look good for him lah.
Okay, so I have a question for you guys,
Mm.
right? How much of this history is taught in high school?
Oh, none.
Like zero?
It's thought that Sang Nila Utama found Singapore.
Boom, Lee Kuan Yew happened. We're amazing
No,
now.
then after that,
Okay.
Raffles came in.
Ah, right, of course.
And then
Raffles,
he
right.
had his sidekick, his kakia, William Farquhar.
No, honestly, I didn't even
And
know
then
about.
after
I didn't
that,
know about.
Tan Tok Seng, Limbo Seng,
Yeah.
a
No,
couple of
Andy Pillai,
Alsagoff, all the
Alsagoff.
different. So they picked very nice, like one Arab, one Malay, one Indian, or a couple of
Multicultural.
Indians.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Everyone
Then
founded
after
us
that,
At different
Lee
points
Kuan
in
Yew
time.
came.
Then the PAP and
Then the
everything.
PAP.
Then modern Singapore.
Everything sweet,
Then modern
and
Singapore.
now we are here. Then you better study.
What was it?
That's basically it.
Go King Sui, right? Go Sui King.
Go King Sui.
Go
King
King
Sui.
Sui.
right?
Go
Yeah,
King Sui.
Sui.
Yeah.
Everything Sui.
Everything sweet. You know what sweet means? Like everything's
It's
good.
awesome, yeah.
Yeah.
It's on the
Yeah.
up and up.
Oh,
yeah.
that's smooth.
So here's the thing, though. I
Yeah.
mean, like, I personally believe that once again, so I'm from India. Our high school history is almost like propaganda.
Yeah.
And like, I personally believe that high school history isn't meant to be a study into history. It is more like, a way to just
Indoctrinate.
yeah, okay, that's a
Yeah.
strong word, but like instill a cultural and national pride.
Yes.
essentially.
Indoctrinate. Yeah. No, same
Propaganda
thing.
lah,
It's
basically.
It's the same.
Propaganda.
It's the same. You would have
Let's-
never heard the true history of Mother Teresa at that fucking hall.
Oh my god.
That fraud. I think a fraud would be a better word lah. Fraud.
Oh,
Fraud.
fraud.
Yeah.
In the name
Fraud.
of the Father and of the Son and the Holy Spirit.
We will never call any woman.
Forgive
a
me for
cunt.
my sins for hearing that word.
No. Even women.
Mother Teresa had nothing
like,
to do with
there
good
were
old
volunteers who were like,
Hor-Fun.
oh, this lady, this fucking demon.
Demon. Yeah.
Yeah, they were like, fuck.
Yeah. I think because she's being propped up by the Catholic Church and the
Yes.
Catholic Church
No,
has a
and
lot of
even
political
the
power
Indian
as well.
government, they do not question anything that she did. They did not question it because she was a good PR thing.
I mean, yeah, she was
And
like very well respected. in
probably
And I
India,
think religion plays a massive part in it as well.
She
For
probably had
the political
videos.
sway that she has.
Yeah,
She probably
Yeah.
had videos of her escapades with the Indian politicians.
never know.
Some good old
I
whore.
mean,
No
I-
evidence of it, but maybe. Who knows?
I mean, she was still a pretty big deal in India. Like, so when she passed away in like August '97 or something like that, like the entire country was like
Yeah.
shut down. They were like really mourning
For
on
a
a
party?
national level.
And she did meet Robert Maxwell to ask for money
Yes.
in the UK.
Who's
Yeah.
Maxwell?
Who's
Robert Maxwell, the
Ghislaine
father
Maxwell's
of Ghislaine
father.
Maxwell. the girlfriend of
that
Jeffrey Epstein.
explains.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right.
So
just
the
And she took money from
that was a throwback
from like
to last
corrupt
week's.
politicians all over the world.
Haiti, a couple of like
Haiti
warlords in Haiti as
and
well.
like American like fucking wealth
She
fund
took
guy
money
who
where
like
she-
swindled money,
okay.
like, and she never returned the money, even
They-
though like
They want to be
all of
like
the-
they want to like shit on Mother Teresa, but that was her way of sticking up to the bad guys. Like take their money and never return it.
Yeah, not a bad deal.
That's what she
Anything
did.
no,
about
you
that?
can say anything about her because you're Catholic.
No, but you're Jewish from the belt.
All
down.
she did is like you were saying
No,
that
you're
she
saying that
no,
top
she-
up,
Yeah.
then below the belt.
For the
different.
neck up, Chinese, belt down, Jewish.
she
Yeah.
took money from them and never returned it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like,
No,
who-
and
who
she
are they? They're
never
scumbags.
she never wanted any of those people who came to her homes to be treated because I just need you to die the way God wanted
Dude,
you.
Dude,
die.
that's pure faith.
She
She
believed-
was the most faithful amongst us.
She believes that pain and suffering is God's will,
Yes.
ultimately.
Yeah.
So if you
And she
so
carried
live-
it out.
That was a mission.
yeah,
She carried
if you
it
live a
out.
painful life, that means you're living out God's will. Yeah, and that's a very, I don't know, it's kind of weird.
Yeah, I
like,
mean, it
ideology,
will be a, it will be a cop out if the person like, I'm in so much pain. Let me help you with morphine. No.
No morphine. Morphine's amazing though. Apparently,
Yeah.
morphine's fucking amazing.
Yeah, I guess I don't know enough about Mother Teresa.
Yeah.
She is. Yeah, she's widely respected in India
He
still.
doesn't know enough about Mother Teresa, but he still knows
So
about
I think
morphine.
that comes to like history, right? Like the way that history is being written
Yeah,
and being taught
yeah.
to the public.
I mean, it's the same for the
We
founding
pick and
fathers.
choose what we want from certain characters,
Yeah.
and maybe we only pick the good things and not show the bad things.
Same.
And I think it just points to like a specific aspect of history, which is the modern history, right? So it's like if the incidents in history are too close to comfort for people in power, of course they're gonna censor it. But I don't believe it's like a concerted effort. It's just more like, the people who are writing the books are influenced by the political environment of their time, and therefore they are more predisposed to omit certain things, and
Like the arresting of opposition.
Perhaps.
You know, like
yeah.
how we look at great leaders of the past as well. When you ask someone like who do you think is a great general, a great leader, people will say like Alexander the Great, Genghis
Genghis
Khan.
Khan, yeah.
Genghis Khan
Caesar.
pops up a lot, but that
Yeah.
guy slaughtered millions of people,
A
raped
lot of people.
thousands of women.
Yeah.
Yep.
And somehow he's like ranked as a great leader. What about
Yeah, because of his
So-
because he did.
so that comes down to like amnesia, like our human forgetfulness. Like after a specific amount of time, we tend to forget the bad and just remember the good.
Yeah.
To pick and choose.
Or
So
history
when-
is written by the victors.
Yeah, how many years will it be before we think that or people
You're
will
gonna say
claim that
Donald Trump?
Stalin or Mao is a good leader,
Yeah, but it also points down to like an inherent human need to worship strong men in times of crisis, right? And I think one of my favorite examples is the case of Julius Caesar. For the longest time, for centuries and even millennia, Julius Caesar was considered like a strong leader. There were like tons of accounts written about him saying that he is the model of what leadership should be and all that stuff. Post Renaissance, like sometime around the 1500s and 1600s, a lot of intellectuals, professors, and the intelligentsia in general have tried to recontextualize the history of Julius Caesar, and what they found was that our understanding of Julius Caesar was mostly based on what are like hagiographic accounts of Julius Caesar. So essentially he hired people to write glowing accounts of him, and those are the ones that have survived, right? So our understanding of Julius Caesar was essentially those glowing accounts. And so when they tried to recontextualize what Julius Caesar actually did, they were like, okay, so he's a populist, he's a demagogue, and he's all of those things, and he's not necessarily the great leader that everybody made out to him to be, not trying to take away from his contributions, but it's just that, let's every once in a while, let's take a step back and try to recontextualize our history.
I
And
think
that's
people are trying to do with Lee Kuan Yew.
yeah. So, and I think it's like a natural course of things, right? So, and the reason why I bring this up is because I think there's a lot of criticism and pushback about reanalyzing historical characters, right? Because it's like there's one camp that's like, oh, he's a bad guy, we should judge him for the cultural norms that we have right now. Versus there's a bunch of people who are like,
as you can see in the States or in the UK
Yeah.
when they start pulling down statues,
Yeah.
right?
So the thing is that, like, I know that a lot of people like to make this seem like a modern woke thing, but the reality is that this has been happening for as long as
Throughout
history
history.
has been around. Yeah. So
Yeah, even MLK, like how he's being elevated to like some almost godlike status in the States. Like he was a womanizer, beats up women as well.
Yeah, so it's like
Yeah.
MLK, yeah.
he was.
Oh, I
Yeah.
did not know that.
He's a womanizer and abuser as well.
Yeah, so the thing is that, and I think what people should understand is that criticizing a person for his personal failings should not devalue his contributions, but we should take all of that into account, right? So, and that's the same
Yeah.
way that we should evaluate past his like leaders. And I think this is my problem with a lot of the conversations that's happening right now, but that's probably like a story for another time. Essentially,
Yeah,
you know,
that's why I
Yeah.
always have problems when like the media or anyone like elevate a human being to be like the savior of the world.
yeah,
Or like this
Yeah.
person will solve all problems if only he gets like power. If you put him in office, and then
Well, now-
everything will be good.
Now that you revealed that, to
You know,
me,
it's-
his whole speech has a new meaning. Like, I have a dream that white people, black people,
Yeah.
Chinese people.
Most likely he was having a wet dream.
No, he he was.
I
Oh
have a
shit!
dream, it looks into the distance.
Actually, I probably should
That
have
was a
gone
good
there
dream.
because that's like a really famous speech. Like it's almost back like if American history is like that one and the whole Abraham Lincoln speech. All schools and
No, but if you want to go like to like black leaders, you can talk about like MLK, you can talk about Malcolm,
Malcolm
X, and like I actually prefer Malcolm X because he was on like down
it
the
your
path
turn?
of like yeah.
So,
Alright, it's my turn to climb over
so
Rindo.
right after
Yeah.
you, it's gonna be me. It's like this is the only podcast where people go out for piss.
Alright.
No,
How
no,
do
no.
I strategize myself
Joe
so that he
Rogan's
just
podcast, they take piss breaks.
Yeah, but they didn't film it the whole way.
Yeah, they
Just-
film.
Oh,
They
you
film.
do?
Yeah, they
Alright,
just-
cool. So, Joe Rogan,
Yeah.
we're on the same. We're on the slightly same.
We are trying to replicate one of the best podcasts in the world, right?
No,
Yeah.
no,
So like Malcolm X, right? Like he had an extremely radical point of view, but then eventually, like he had like some personal experiences, and then he looked at the leader Elijah Muhammad, right? Like he looked at him and he was like, I actually don't agree with what this fella is doing after like what he got to know about him and everything. It's like, oh, and after he went to the Hajj, after he had the Hajj pilgrimage, he was like, we all the same, man. Like, why the fuck did I actually like say, you know, the blacks should only be the blacks and all this kind of shit? Like he, somewhat, you know, for lack of a better term, he had an epiphany at Mecca, and then he came back a different person. But then after that, he was killed when he
Oh.
didn't want separation anymore. When he didn't want people to be segregated, like, oh, I want everyone to be equal, but we can be in our own community. But then when he came back and he wanted everyone to like be as one,
Got killed.
he got killed.
Yeah.
So it was like extremely funky.
It doesn't pay to be a prata over there. Flip.
Oh,
Yeah.
right. Okay.
Can't you
Yeah,
flip?
I don't know enough about American history, to be honest.
Yeah.
No,
That was
but
not-
but
yeah.
the movie about him, like I think was Denzel acted as Malcolm X. Really good movie. But if you want to know more about that, I would suggest this author called Jim DiEugenio.
Okay.
So he started writing about the whole JFK, like the assassination of JFK. But then he realized that if I actually want to know about that, I would actually have to go even further back. I need to know who JFK is. I need to know what his foreign policies were.
Apparently, he was a very bad leader.
No, apparently he was really good.
Is it?
He was so good
That they
for
got
the
rid-
people
Oh.
and not for the establishments.
So it was bad leader for the Okay.
Yeah. So the establishments had their own agenda lined up. They're like, okay, we need
No,
this,
because I just saw
these things
one,
to happen.
for JFK one. I just saw the Irishman.
Oh, actually, the Irishman is
They
in
showed,
between.
They
There
showed
were snippets.
Yeah, they showed how the mafia was actually responsible for his rise into
Yes,
presidency.
which is factual.
And how they were actually angry at his brother Bobby for going down on them.
And him, because he
He's the one that
appointed the brother
as the
as the Attorney General
so
of
it's kind of like
United
a
States.
backstab for them.
The
you know.
U.S. Attorney.
But that's a different
General.
thing. We were talking about the founding fathers of Singapore, not about the JFK people.
I came back and it was from Caesar to
Hey,
you.
and now
then
I'm about to
MLK.
go and piss, and when I come back, you guys better be talking about
Yeah,
like,
the
about,
Lobang
like,
Boys don't
Mars.
follow any guidebook. There's no rule book.
We're following like the Joe Rogan.
Yeah, we just go where the wind blows.
We are all coming out from that fucking manhole cover, and
Exactly.
Rindo's gonna
You know,
go
From the cesspool of filth.
Oh, sorry.
and we have been we have been honored to be graced by the Mayor of Geylang today
Exactly.
on this episode.
Exactly.
And to remind people, you're watching or listening to the Listening Room podcast, aka the Lobang Boys.
Lobang Boys.
The Lords of Lobangs.
Lots of lobangs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, I think merch might come out soon. I think we might work on that, and it's going to be on patreon.com/lobangboys.
We've been hyping on that for the past 2 years.
I love how
Still
it has been a venture that has been spoken about so much,
Yeah.
but nothing has been done. No, but a Patreon page has been set up.
Oh, so do you have it? Do you have a
We-
Patreon
we
page?
have
You have it?
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, we have registered for it.
Oh.
We get the emails, dude.
Oh yeah. Right.
Every now and then I open up my fucking email for the podcast, and then there's like Patreon sending like info, like
So I think we should start selling those tickets lah,
yeah.
to get some special promo shit from our podcast.
Were you guys gonna do that live podcast thing that you were planning to do with Gary?
We might do it, but probably not with Gary. Yeah, because the episode of him didn't go as planned.
But okay, let's blame it on the technology, right? It was fucking like jamming up, and we could barely hear him or see him.
Yeah, I mean, like, no. He
Even
was
without
getting
technology, it was snoozer.
I mean, he was getting the same technical issues that I was going through. Like,
No, but yours was better actually.
okay.
We for all the jokes about like the Wi-Fi in Geylang and all, it was still way better than Gary. Gary's Wi-Fi was shit.
Yeah.
I think after that we had Devel, and she had something similar, but it was still better than Gary's technical issues. It was like
Yeah.
it was just so bad. Like we had to stop every 5 minutes to just say that Gary is doing the
Technical difficulties right now. We'll just continue talking like everything's normal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that did happen a lot.
Was this
Yeah.
Roman Empire? What were you talking about now?
We're talking about Gary. And his technical issues, yeah.
That's another empire we're talking about.
Yeah, so Rindo was saying, just to catch you up on speed, Rindo was saying like, asking us whether are we going to do a live podcast, and I said, yeah, we will, but not
Wow.
with Gary.
Well, this is one step where we're filming it.
Yeah.
I've already had people. I've actually, you guys don't even know this, but I got listeners that I didn't even
Wow.
know. That I didn't even know.
Wow.
That I didn't know. Just one.
just one.
Just one. I
What?
just found out yesterday. It's like I've got one listener. That's quite good. And he watches like not bad. It's like okay,
Yeah.
good.
Hey,
Cheers.
shout
for
out
watching some
to
more,
that
yeah.
person. Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out more. I can't name him now for sake that I don't want to
For
ruin.
legal purposes.
I don't want to ruin his rap.
Why?
I don't know. It's like you never know. Maybe he does this in secret, and he's one of his secret one of his guilty pleasures.
He might be watching us and might be taking down notes to
Yeah.
critique us, maybe.
Oh no, I hope so.
Or maybe coming out with
Okay.
improving our business plan.
Or he might be jerking off to us. Whatever it is.
Now
No,
that we have,
whatever
you can
it
see our faces.
Definitely
You
not.
can like us or
but
hate
the
us.
thing
That's
is
fine.
that I'm reluctant to share stuff on Instagram and all that because I don't know who I want to reach out to. I still have too many people on my Instagram.
Yeah, use the close friends tab.
I don't.
Josie
I don't-
mentioned it
I
to me
don't,
and I used
I
it.
don't
Yeah.
control that very well.
Yeah, use the close friends
So
tab.
there are still people out there that still think I do not swear. No, just kidding. Nobody.
There's still
thinks
people who think you don't drink.
Oh, that one. Oh yeah, my long lost relatives. Pretty sure everyone in my family thinks I'm alcoholic right now. No, but still, I'm hoping to reach out to more people. I just don't know how, cause you need to control this. If you get too popular, then I can't show my face in public anymore. And
Why?
It's really hard to hide this face, cause I glow.
Wow.
Cause I glow too
Dude.
much.
Like
I'm
the
white.
OK Let's Go boys, they
Who?
were fucking massive, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I never knew about them.
They were targeting only the Malay community.
if I had gone down to like Geylang Serai Market, and if I were to like
With the blessing,
look at one of them,
like when
Yeah.
you go there,
Alright.
you'll be going down with
maybe this guy sells nasi lemak,
Maybe mee sotong.
maybe mi soto,
Yeah. Soto.
or maybe
sorry, not sotong.
this guy is just here for shopping.
Probably
with,
lah.
with his family.
Well, most
Probably,
people look
probably.
at
I
it.
wouldn't know. I wouldn't know.
Well, most people,
Maybe a little weed here and there,
No,
or
no,
shrooms.
no,
No,
that I don't know.
that you don't know
That
lah.
is illegal.
that's
Oh,
too
yeah,
far.
that's right.
Yeah, people. Most
They
people
wouldn't
look at,
venture into
Steven
that.
draws the line there. Okay.
Yeah.
Good to know.
No, because he knows he knows where he
I
can.
gave two fellas props for being entrepreneurs, selling food.
And then
feeding
you
people.
immediately put them
And
out as
then
drug
you
dealer. You made them out to be
Went down that
criminals.
stereotype
Yeah.
of saying that they were drug abusers.
No,
You
okay,
can't use
okay.
this
So hang on, let me clarify. I'm not saying that drug abusers. I'm saying that entrepreneurs.
You said that you smell weed.
No, they were selling weed because entrepreneur.
That's worse.
He was
Because-
talking about the
okay.
the weed that you know,
Consuming
the
weed
grass.
has a lower sentence than selling weed.
Okay, no. Here's my thought. Here's my thought.
Here's the point.
They can see into the future, the entrepreneurs, because they see that in the UK, in parts of Europe, in the
It should be
US,
legalized.
it's going to
Josie,
be legalized.
Come on,
Temasek
Josie.
is investing
Come on, Josie.
investing into
You're
medical
trying to cover
marijuana,
your ass here.
and then
We have
they
already
are-
discussed how fucked up and how backwards our government is when it comes to drugs and legalizing drugs.
yeah.
We watched that video right here in
And
your
all
room.
this is
Wait,
our
wait,
national.
what?
Where
This is actually on
CNB
National Day
tried to
special.
demonize-
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh, is
yeah.
it?
This is supposed to be on
Hey,
National Day
fuck you
special.
guys! I'm the only one with a red fucking t-shirt here.
Yeah, I read as well.
Oh yeah, there's some
I've-
red.
I've
some
red
red-
in my blood. Okay, my blood is red. That's it. That's good.
My
enough.
blood is flowing. The
That's
blood of
I'm
Singapore.
with him. You see,
But
look,
let's be honest, Sean,
I'm
you're
the
all
foreigner
white.
here. I don't count here.
I'm so white. You can see the red through my skin. Come on, look. I'm already quite reddish.
Yeah, yeah. Your face is getting red, dude.
Yeah,
from the
because
If we
From
were to
alcohol.
cut you,
Presentability.
Sean, if we were to cut you right now, just slit a portion of
This
your
looks
arm.
more right.
No, it'll be a Jewish flag, now, Israeli flag that will pop
Coins,
up.
coins,
yeah.
currency, gold.
On the left arm would be the Israeli flag. On the right arm would be a yarmulke.
Don't. I'll get my Mossad
And then he
agent.
pulled out a stick from his back pocket. It's like,
I'll
no,
have
I'm-
I'll have my imported
haram.
Mossad agent known as John alias John Wang.
John Wang.
He will come out and kick you guys. Don't
yeah,
force
he got to
me.
protect his kind.
I'd use him.
Yeah.
Oh, is John Jewish?
John is Mossad.
Oh,
He's
okay.
converted.
Oh, right. Okay, that's
He is
call back.
Mossad.
Okay, gotcha.
He doesn't want to admit it, and I mean we're not supposed to out him that much, but it's
Yeah.
No,
an open secret.
and John is a huge guy. He's a,
Yeah,
he's a tall,
when
he's a
dude.
when
tall,
the Israeli
big dude.
people sent him here,
So
they
when
didn't
they
expect him to grow.
circumcised him, they took his foreskin and they made it into a tent.
What are you talking about?
And they feed the
They
poor
are-
and needy below the tent.
They are still
They feed the
extra-
Palestinians in the tent.
in the tent.
they are
in the
still
tent.
they are still extracting skin till this day.
Yeah, they got to snip it part by part by
You
part
can't
by
take too
part.
much because
Yeah, if
hemorrhage
not-
and everything. So
Yeah, it's too
bit by
dangerous.
bit.
It's too
We
dangerous.
can already expect a fucking long, like a comment on this post by John. Fuck you.
Provided he lasts this long.
Hey, that's a compliment, dude. That's a
After-
compliment.
compliment.
That means you have a massive penis.
No, we didn't say that. We only said
No,
that
no,
the
you
foreskin
see-
was long.
You see, the penis can be.
How does that even work?
It's a huge amount of foreskin. People have that problem. It's like we can't extract this in one go. It's a health problem.
God was like, I gave you a small piece, but here you go, more skin. It has been well documented that you have already had the snip.
Yeah, snip. So I
Right?
know
You're-
I know
you're
issue.
all
I
po-
used to
you're
have I
kosher?
used to have the tight problem. Now I don't have the problem. So I can but I can't really relate both sides because when it was tight, it was just tight. It wasn't like my penis was burst like oh fuck, I can't go out. It was more like it's just yeah, it's a bit too snug. You know, it's like a bit too snug. It's like a turtleneck that can't full of it. Can't go over here.
And did you just use your thumb and your pinky? And then like,
No, I didn't because it was too painful. It's like, calm down.
cooks it
Calm down. It's, like, it's all done. It's all done. It's like the turtleneck just fits over the head again.
So wait, when you get erect, you still have your foreskin on
yeah,
top.
yeah,
Yeah, top.
it's
Yeah.
there. It's a turtleneck that doesn't go all the way. Doesn't go all the way.
Yeah,
And
that
then
doesn't reach the neck.
now they cut out the turtleneck and the guy is like, ooh, 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 but I don't like it. It's a bit too chilly.
But I thought that happens like naturally.
You got to
Yeah.
pull it back, right?
Yeah, but
No,
the
but
thing
there
is,
is
the
a-
thing is,
there is a
When I say
condition.
naturally,
the
I
thing
mean
is,
also naturally,
my
like-
turtleneck was made of some kind of fucking material that doesn't expand.
Yeah, there is a condition where
Like
it's
it's like-
it doesn't like it has to be like truly false,
Like
even
I
naturally.
Like first, I bought two
Yeah.
sizes too small, and then that bloody material doesn't even expand. It's like made of like the hardest rubber you've ever met, like tires.
That's when you know that God hates you.
Nah, that's
But that's if God
that-
exists.
that was
Why am I
my.
thinking of Sean's penis right now?
Dude, I hope you're not the only
The
one.
mechanics of it.
Like everyone is watching this.
Fucking hell, the disrespect. What dude? Mayor.
Oh, sorry.
Mayor.
Sir, Sir Rindo,
Sorry.
get your terms right.
I lost myself in my anger. Like, how dare you talk?
Don't
You
make
should
him
be
give you a
fantasizing.
racial facial at
You
the end of the day.
Did you hear about our product last week? We've come.
Yeah,
out-
our new business plan.
He has not gotten to that part
Yeah,
of the
no, I haven't.
podcast.
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
so
Yeah,
let's not
yeah.
spoil it for him.
Okay, so let's just prep lah. When you
Yeah.
get to that part, in the future we're going to come up with like a Patreon page where we can get investors to come in.
Multiple
Okay.
products.
Yeah.
Multiple products.
Multiple products, so
on
you'll
it's
be
offer.
the
either
first on the line.
it's either Patreon
Whenever you want to
and
invest.
Kickstarter. Like Kickstarter is gonna be one of those things as well. Like
Yeah.
crowdfunding.
Okay.
Yeah.
Before I
No,
say
like-
anything, let me
yeah.
listen to that episode first.
Yes. Yes.
we need money to rent a dungeon
Because I'm
to
afraid
have
now.
our penis bikes. That's our first plan. That's
S
our first
Blaster
plan.
9000.
I refuse to use the word dungeon. I'll just say a light sensitive area. Like
Basement. Let's just call it a basement.
Yeah, this is too close. This is a light sensitive enclosure where
Okay.
to conduct safe experiments.
It's a safe space.
a safe space
Safe
for
space.
Yeah.
for cultural
pleasure.
cultural
For pleasure.
expression. Well, it's a good hor fun. Like good sight for some. The whole way I've been saying hor fun though. I think
Fucking
this is like the fifth time I've said hor fun. I just like I like how you.
Hor fun.
Dude, Geylang is the good place for Geylang. Good hor fun. It's like,
Jesus,
walao.
we've been speaking so much about Geylang. I'm feeling fucking hungry now.
Yeah,
It
dude.
doesn't help that you keep mentioning Hor Fun, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hor fun with prata. Walao.
Oh.
That's a fucked up combination.
Oh, that's a
right there.
weird combination.
That's a
though.
weird combination.
Yeah.
It's a good one for me. This whole episode is supposed to be our founding fathers, and I think we talk about fucker and.
Sang Nila Utama, we
and Sang
actually.
Nila
yes.
Utama.
Yeah.
We've,
There's a bit of
we,
that.
our intention was actually to talk about the modern founding fathers, but we had more fun.
It was not.
Really?
Yeah.
It was not.
It was not. It was not. It's not
to
just
talk
focus
about
on
the
that.
other fellas
Yeah.
who did not get the limelight.
How
Exactly.
far did we go?
Because
for the
there's only
other fellas?
one guy who
went-
always gets
we
the
went
limelight.
all
Yeah.
the way back.
Which is
And
the leader of the Lee family.
We talked about Go Keng Sui for about 10 seconds. And
10
then
seconds. And it
went
was
back
just
to
about
your
his name.
penis.
And-
It was
no,
just about his name.
dude,
Go Seng Kui.
Dude.
Go King Sui. Okay, let's
This-
move on.
this was reality personified because that's the same exact thing that
Yeah,
happened
who
in
gives a
reality.
fuck?
Exactly.
It all
It
matters.
was like
Lee
it was
Kuan
like
Yew.
Lee Kuan Yew, and then
Yeah.
what about Go King Sui? And it's like
Hey.
Yeah,
Go
yeah, that
King
guy,
Sui
that guy.
was
Yeah,
like,
okay, move
10
on, move on.
seconds,
Fucker lah,
10
fucker.
seconds
Move on,
later.
move on. On that note,
Yeah, we have come to an end of
Yeah.
the Listening Room podcast.
so this is our
Special
episode
edition.
on the founding fathers with a special guest, Mr.
The-
Rindo.
Yeah, the Mayor of Geylang.
He'll
And
be
thank
back.
you so much
He'll be
for,
back, yeah.
Thank you so much for finally coming down to our
Secret dungeon.
our Lobang dungeon.
Dude, this
Thanks
is
so
another
much for
another
having me,
person that has
guys.
vouched for the safety of the place. We're quite
Yeah.
clean, it's
Yeah.
been sanitized. No one has sneezed, so it's John and Rindo. Next person.
No, we had Danny as well.
And
We've had Danny.
Josiah's bed looks pretty appealing, so
Pretty
you know.
appealing.
Oh, but Danny, we had no camera.
No
No camera.
Yeah.
So no evidence.
So they can't see that we tied him up
And-
with a gun to his head.
One
yeah.
day
Yeah.
we'll actually get Gary down, because then you guys can see that he's a lifelike person, not like in stills. You don't get to see. You get to see him actually move. He will actually move. Okay. Oh yeah,
Let
no.
our guest
Sorry, we have to
plug
let
his
our-
podcast and his Instagram pages. Which
And his comic strip.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Well, okay, I'll be honest. I stopped giving a shit about the podcast. I've been.
No, the man nearly died, so it's okay.
I mean, I stopped reading the news for for a month, and I've never been happier. So, yeah, I do have like some podcast projects that I want to like put forth, but yeah, let's see how it goes. The podcast name is called Living Up in Lion City. I will update it whenever the fuck I want. So let's look at it maybe next year or something.
Yeah.
But he has a comic strip.
Yeah, so I do a comic strip called
fun.
Char Siu Samosa. It used to be Hot Garbage Comics, but then for various reasons I rebranded it. It's just like random comics that I
No,
do.
I know the reason why. You wanted to climb up the hierarchy. You wanted to climb up the privilege ladder. That's why. It was Char Siu
Wow.
Samosa. Fucking hell.
You got me,
yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That lady was right. Oh my
That
god.
lady was right.
That lady is not right. You guys
And
take
you
it back.
You
Take
placed
it
the
back.
fucking barbecue pork in front of the samosa.
No, but
Even though the somersault is a vegan option, it is the plant-based option.
but do check out the
So
comic
triggered
strip.
right
Check out the comic strip.
Gluten-free vegan samosa.
Check out the comic strip. Support local like artists when it comes to comic. Like that's
So yeah,
the way to
charity
go.
samosa. Yeah.
And
So
if you don't
who's
support
the
him, you
artist? Like,
don't wait. Let's make it clear.
Yeah.
If people don't follow him, if they don't follow the podcast page or the comic strip
You
page,
racist.
they are xenophobic
And racist.
and racist.
And racist. Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Disgrace to you. You do
Look
not
at
belong in
these
Singapore.
eyes.
Fucking disgrace.
These
Yeah.
eyes are judging you.
You have to click subscribe. You have to click like and follow us.
Do
Follow
it.
us.
Do it.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And on that note,
On that note,
ciao.
ciao.